Hello, Ruthless Racing Series Nation. It's another Thursday night of action-packed racing right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. And tonight is a special event. It is the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami. Tonight, the Ruthless Championship 4 will take on the turquoise walled Miami, the traditional 1.5 mile track, to see who is the first Ruthless champion. And tonight, for the first time, we are joined by a very special guest in Anxious Yeti. How you doing there, Yeti?
I'm doing very well. Looking forward to some Florida racing.
That's exactly right. Should be great down there in the Florida heat, as this will be a spectacle for the ages here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel, as the Ruthless Racing Series will be conducting the end of their first season right here tonight. And but nobody should hang a low head, as we certainly will have a season two, and we hope to get that going within the next month or so. But tonight it will be Hollywood, Dan the Man, Typical, and Bad Martin going for a shot at the Ruthless Championship. Uh, Personally, I think it's going to be a real good race. I think it's going to be a surprising race. Yeti, who's your pick?
Uh, that's tough. It's really difficult not to go against Typical. He's been so strong. Um, I think, however, I am going to actually go with Hollywood on this one. I think he's due. I think it's been a hard-fought season, and for all accounts, Typical's pretty much dominated a lot of it. But Hollywood's hung around and he's had some bad luck in recent races. He's gotten caught up in some stuff, but I feel like he's gonna bring it out tonight, and he's gonna wrap up the first season with a championship.
I certainly agree. It's hard to go against somebody racing for a championship in their own league. I even told him earlier in the week it's going to be rough if you don't win the championship in your own league, the first year. So, but Typical, very tough competitor. And for the other two guys, Dan the Man and Bad Martin, I mean, Dan the Man was the first one in the field to punch his ticket into the championship. So that's somebody we should definitely keep our eyes on. Bad Martin, been a sneaky car all season, has found himself in the lead multiple times throughout multiple races, and it kind of happens at a time where you're like, how did he get up there? He was just the only car around himself in third place, and now he's up here in first all by himself. So that's happened several times, but yeah, personally, I'm gonna have to go with Hollywood myself. I think he's due. He's not won in a little bit, and I think he just needs to turn it around right here. It is. It's not winner take all. It is best finisher take all. So out of those four guys, they do not have to win the race by any means to be the champion. They just have to be the highest finisher.
That's right.
And
The points don't matter.
that's right. The points will not matter. The points will only be for bragging rights at the end. They will be uh, calculated and totaled, but they will only be for the bragging rights among the drivers, and that would just be the overall season points. Hollywood was your regular season champion, but now finds himself trailing by 7 points to Typical in the season standings. So we'll see if that can change tonight, as Hollywood certainly could do the season sweep as far as championships and points titles go.
That's right. And let's not act like as a guy who ran consistently fifth to seventh most of the season, these four guys, they deserve to be in the final four. They've run up front basically all season, and winning stages and sneaking out wins, um, creeping by Typical late in the race, or however you see it. But these guys have put in the time and they've run up front week in, week out, and it all comes down to tonight.
You're exactly right, Yeti. And I'm going to turn my mic down just a little bit.
Right?
That's right, I do believe they are. Skew Cart is in here. Let us know how the audio is. He says you turn your mic up probably like a level or two. I turned mine down 2 levels
I'm not
because
really sure how I need
I
to.
went
How
to
do I
check
do
my
that?
voice and it sounded loud.
I don't even know how to do that.
Stu is fine.
Ugh.
Okay. Am I still fine? Am I fine right now? That's the question. This mic's a little louder. It's a new mic, over the holidays.
Okay.
We got 5 people in here now. Hope everybody had a great holidays, Christmas, New Year. Hope it was all awesome. Hope nobody got too crazy. If you're from my region, hope nobody went to Grundy double quick. And if you don't know about that, it's on you to find out. But anyways, this is the
Dude,
Ruthless Racing Series. What's up, buddy?
scoot car. Do I sound better?
I don't know, from the phone kind of low. I'm going to go back up a notch.
So
All
I'm
right.
not sure. I did put it up to.
Hopefully I should be good now. Those guys should have qualifying or whatever. All right, they're starting to join. This is
Scoot car said to turn yours up to where you were.
yeah, I turned mine back up.
Okay,
All right,
I
we got
turned mine
the.
up too.
All right, this will be the end of season 1 for us here in the Ruthless Racing Series. This is the championship to find out who takes home the hardware to become the first Ruthless champion from Homestead-Miami. And we're just waiting on these guys to join. We're going to have a little bit of a pre-race interview with the championship 4, and then right after that should be get the green flag racing. Hollywood's in here, right?
Yes, sir.
There he is.
How's it going, buddy?
It's going good, man.
We
So,
got 2 in the booth. I'd love to see it.
yeah, it's awesome. So,
First off, let's
one
see.
second. All right,
Yeah,
sorry. I had Hollywood turn like way up, so.
you're good. Uh, Typicals on the pole for tonight. And then we got Martin starting second, Dan starting third, and I'm starting fourth. So your top 4 are your championship 4.
It's like last week. All right, so everybody's getting in here now.
There we
This
go.
is
We
good
got
to
him.
hear. So Hollywood's going to be starting 4th place. We'll start with him. Hollywood starting in 4th, looking to be an owner champion of the league. And tonight, Homestead, I know it's kind of a rough track. It's more than the traditional style 1.5 miles. What's your plan tonight? Do you feel like you have the car to get it done?
Yeah. I'm looking to just have a clean race, to be honest, and just be up there at the end. I don't know. My car's pretty good. It might not be as fast as the other guys, but it's pretty stable. So I think I'll be good on a longer run, and the draft will keep me in it to start the runs. But yeah, just gonna have a clean race around everybody nice and clean, and we'll all be close at the end. Even if we only have 9 guys racing tonight, so even if something happens, you're not completely out of it. But keep it up front as best as I can and see what happens.
It sounds like a well of a plan to me. And this portion of the broadcast was brought to you by Hollywood's PS4. And they were talking about it in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
Well,
Hollywood, good luck, man. I know you're due a win, so let's see if you can go out there and get it done when it matters.
yeah, good luck to everybody else, and thank you guys for doing the broadcast, and we'll have a good night out here.
Awesome. Who was it starting 3rd?
We got Dan starting 3rd.
So it was Dan,
The fan
Martin,
favorite?
Typical.
All right, I'll take it.
All right, Dan the man. Dan the man, first person to punch his ticket into the championship here in the Ruthless Racing Series. So here you are now on the stage. starting third, and you've been another one of them racers that just find yourself there at the end to sneak in a win. And what do you think tonight holds for you? Do you think the car has that long run?
I know the car has you know what I mean? Like, I know the car has like a long run in it. It's a little dicey. I'm like a little nervous. Car's fast. See what happens.
Short, simple, to the point. Like it. Everybody in the chat, let us know which of the championship four you think will win tonight. But yeah, Dan, best luck to you tonight. Hope you have a good, clean
Appreciate it. I'm
race.
gonna need it.
Yeah. Uh, so now we got Martin that will be starting in second. It's
What's up?
another person you gotta watch for. And here he is tonight on the biggest stage of the whole season. And let's see, Martin, what's the plan?
I don't know, man. I was practicing earlier in the Toyota, and I forgot I was in a Ford tonight, so I had a good setup for the Toyota. Now I'm a little free, so if you see me wig out, then that's probably because I didn't get it quite tuned back down.
I hear you.
So
So what are you thinking? Pit road adjustments over time to get where you
I'm
need to be?
hoping because I practiced a lot with the Toyota, and then I just went in, I just dropped some track bars, and I didn't get a full run in it yet. So
Understood.
one of them nights, unprepared. Life got in the way.
Hey, nonetheless, you've had a great season all the way to this point since you joined, and now here you are racing for the championship. So best of luck out there.
Yeah, it's an honor to be here with these four guys or these three other guys because they're all class acts. So we'll probably put on a good show tonight.
That's good to hear. Good to hear. All right, and now we got Typical, been the dominating force through Ruthless Racing since the beginning, and maybe he's looking to just trend that way to the end of this race and crown himself the Ruthless champion, to go along with the most race wins, I do believe, and possibly could also seal the overall season's point standing after catching back up with Hollywood after he won the regular season. So Typical tonight. I know you got a pretty decent car here, and you probably got what it takes. But what do you think it's going to take?
It's gonna take for me to be consistent on my line and keep it clean. You don't want to make anybody mad tonight and then ruin your chances. So keep it clean. I'm not worried about the stages until it's the final lap, and hopefully all just goes well for everybody tonight.
Well said, well said. And just the same to you. Best of luck, and go out there and make us proud. Everybody.
Oh yeah. We'll be racing high. We'll be racing low.
Real quick,
Good to hear. Good
can,
to hear.
can one of you send me an invite back into this?
No.
Doing it right now.
Make sure you all send me and Yeti like
I will
multiple,
do that
please.
right now too, Stu.
Yeah, just send us like both a couple. And Yeti, you got
I don't
anything for our
have.
championship four?
Guys, you consistently ran in front of me, so you definitely deserve to be in the championship four. I felt like I watched y'all in front of me a lot this season. You guys clearly are the class of the field, and you deserve to be here. So let's put on a show. How about it?
You should
Yes,
be out
sir.
on the track.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
More cars, the better. It's more fun. Till you're the car behind all them cars.
Which is usually where I'm at. So.
Well, I'll make it in the end.
The stream's up, Stu.
Good. Thank you, man. Typical 30 on YouTube has Ruthless Radio if you want to check that out sometime during the race. Thanks to him. Give him a check over there on YouTube, Typical 30. But yeah, that was your championship four we just interviewed. Good luck to all those guys. Wish they all could win, but it ain't going to happen that way.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Y'all have a good time in the booth. Later.
Yeah,
Thank
we'll
you.
be looking forward to it. This is the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami, and we'll be going green not too long. Just make sure you let us know to join this time.
I got you.
Yeah, y'all behave in the chat. Y'all get wrenched. Blue wrenched.
Mm, blue good wrenched.
Blue good wrench.
Or is it technically gear wrench now? Do we have to say gear wrench? Because they're the ones in NASCAR now, or?
I don't think I get paid enough to say. It's
I
not
don't
my
know. I
call.
mean, you're the announcer. Not me. I'm just a guess.
You can be whatever you want to be. This is the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel.
I guess you're right.
I am right.
Look at that. We got bots in here already in the chat.
Breaking news for anybody that's an NFL fan. Oh, Yeetus, get him. How the hell
Got
did they
him.
get in?
Wrenched.
Oh, get him.
He got him.
Oh, he did get him, huh? They're just on the
Yeah.
stream. If you don't care, just kind of like send a couple messages. Even though I do like the number 69, this is not the place for it.
We much prefer 62 here.
Yeah, 62 only. Once again, thanks to Ruthless, or shit. Thanks to Typical 30 for the in-race stream tonight. It will be Typical, Bad Martin, Dan the Man, Hollywood, G-Dog, Big Ben, Dunlap, and the other two aren't in there yet, so we'll get to them whenever they come around.
I believe Animal was in the...
Trav Nation and Animal. That's right. Ruthless 30, hell yeah. Gotta make sure I don't miss the join message.
I have not
Oh,
seen a join message.
the bots messed up my breaking news. Assholes. Anyways, breaking news for any NFL fans out there. They just announced, the NFL did, that the Bengals and Bills will be considered a no contest.
I did see that as well. Probably the right call.
That's true. Probably.
Nobody wanted to play that game.
Probably not. All right, the field is set, and we're just waiting for that clock to tick down, and we will get to green flag racing, and it will be the Ruthless Racing Series Season 1 Championship. Right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel, brought to you by myself, B New Stew, and Anxious Yeti, or better known as Project 62 in the Ruthless Racing Series. All right, Yeti, let them know what you expect tonight and what you think it's going to take out of these cars to, just make it to the end or just have the car strong enough at the end.
Well, I think you definitely have to assume there's going to be a long run, right? The top four talked about how you've got to be, clean and you don't really want to rough up any feathers to start the race. And, with Bad Martin being in a, was it Bad Martin that said he was in Toyota for his setup? He's
Yeah, I
he's
had to
got an
switch to a
he's
Ford.
got an uphill battle to climb. I mean,
Continue
it's
talking about we're joining.
it's going to be difficult. Um, Probably going to be waiting for um, that first pit stop, and he's probably going to be holding on. But I think you gotta tune it for the long run. You gotta have a car that's steady, and like Hollywood said, his car's steady. He may not be the fastest, but for a long run, it may benefit him. But I feel like I expect it to be a clean race. I don't expect very many cautions, if at all. We've had several races without maybe one caution, so it may come down to a green flag pit stop.
I'd say you're exactly right, but right now it's coming down to a green flag start. Typical on the pole. Bad Martin right there next to him on the outside, and we're going to boogity, boogity, boogity right here to the Ruthless Championship start. And it will only be out of 4 guys who will claim the Ruthless Championship. The Ruthless Championship 4 of typical Bad Martin, Dan the Man, and Hollywood, starting in that order tonight. And this lap number 1 already shifty off turn number 2 as they go down the back stretch. Nose to tail up on the high side. Dan the Man looking to make the low side work early. Hollywood probably going to go down there and tag along. Got Big Ben in the 2 there working along the high side with these other 2 guys. And there goes Dan the Man nose to nose with Typical down the front stretch. I believe Typical possibly got him there on that first lap. And here we are, Championship 4 already up here door to door with each other. So this is what we expected, and we're going to see it early.
Hollywood looking 3 wide there?
He was poking the nose out there on the outside, trying to make something of it.
Not sure if that's the right move this early in the race, but hey, if he's got it, you might as well give it a shot. Trav running the wall line back there.
Yeah, Dan the Man definitely went down on the inside. Lap number 1 is drawing it to door with Typical, and now we got Hollywood down low on that quarter panel. It's going to make Dan the Man lose a little speed, possibly force him up to
3
work.
wide.
It's going to go 3 wide, possibly. Oh, one up into the wall. We got contact. Hollywood, Dan the Man down to the inside. Hollywood spinning, but he gains control after a 360 spin up into the wall. That would certainly bring out a caution. Early on in the championship race, the championship contender hits the wall after it broke loose off of 2. And I can only imagine that we will have a caution after this. It was a 2-car incident.
And it's like we said. I mean, Hollywood has been caught up, and he's gotten in some bad luck this year, and so far it's starting out to look like a lot of the other times.
So certainly something we don't see a lot here in the Ruthless Racing Series is a crash early on in the race. But here we go. When it's for everything, every inch matters.
Definitely
Slobber
makes
knocker.
me eat my words.
Yeah, slobber knocker, I believe someone said earlier in the chat.
That was the word that was used.
So now they're all going to mostly take a pit here, get some service, fix any burnt tire they may have.
Interesting to see if Bad Martin gets some of those adjustments in. It's a nice quick pit stop for him.
Yeah, certainly beneficial to him and somebody who's needing about every adjustment they can get. I'm sure those 3.5 laps taught him a little bit. I bet it taught him that it was freaking loose.
I would say so. I ran a practice race with these guys, and if it was the track condition that we had, it was certainly a little loose.
Yeah, tonight it's sponsored by Double Quick Pump 7. Slap it.
I'm gonna just assume that was supposed to be funny.
It's an inside thing.
Well, consider me outside on that one.
Oh, you could be in it. You just have to watch your videos.
Maybe after.
So we'll be going green this time by. It'll be a restart with only 5 laps completed. So we'll get restarted when lap number 6 starts. 39 laps in stage number 1. How are you all doing this? How are they getting in here? I have all this banned.
They're already gone. Already gone. Already wrenched.
Well, nonetheless, they're still on the screen, but it ain't too bad. Could be worse. But typical is going to get this going again from the pole. Bad Martin on the outside. Dan the Man in 3rd, and Big Ben in 4th. Hollywood has dropped back towards the rear now.
Good start for Typical there.
Typical off to a very great start down here in turn number 1. And that's kind of going to force the field more to a single file action this time around. Dan the Man, dangerous down on the low side. Let's see if he tries to make that work again. So more of a single file action now out of these guys as they come back around. This will be lap number 7 of 39 here in stage number 1. Typical out to the lead, but not really breaking away by any means.
No, Bad Martin hanging tough. Must have made a few adjustments. Looking a little strong here.
I'm going to go ahead and get this out now. The Ruthless Racing Series will be starting up in 2 or 3 weeks. We're going to try to go through a recruiting period. Number 2 car got back into the wall back there.
I got Hollywood spinning on my screen.
Really?
It's Hollywood back spun it.
Hollywood has spun it.
Looks like he caught the apron on my screen. Not sure what happened.
Possibly
he was all by himself. He was all by himself. He must have loosened the car a little bit too much. So disaster striking for the 16.
That is very unfortunate.
2 spins in the first stage, but long race.
1 spin, possibly not all his fault. That one, maybe. Didn't quite get it. I did see the 2 get up into the wall there. So I don't know if Hollywood was part of that.
I just caught the glimpse of it on my screen. I was watching Typical and just saw him out of the corner, just spinning around there. Not sure what happened.
But yeah, next season, 2 or 3 weeks, we're going to try to go through a little recruitment period. We will have the Ruthless Racing Pro Series launching next season, and that will be 16 full-time drivers through our Pro Series. And then if enough people come along, we will have a 4 bragging rights series, which would be our Ruthless Racing Pro-Am series. That will be at a date to be determined, or a day to be determined. But if you are on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, have NASCAR Heat 5, and are interested in racing for the Ruthless Racing Series, let us know. Get up with Hollywood 2RS on PlayStation, and we'll get you in for a tryout.
Interesting, they're all running the bottom. I saw Dunlap run a few laps way up next to the wall. Not sure if he was just trying that out or if that's something he plans on using later in the race.
I would imagine that a lot of guys are going to use a low to high strategy here on these turns, as you've seen most of the top 3 use here. The only flaw in that strategy is that you will break loose on exit if you don't control that car.
Definitely so.
Hollywood certainly having a rough stage number 1, but I think he'll be fine once stage number 2 comes around. We're at 13 out of 39 here in stage number 1. It's a long race.
Bad Martin peeking down inside the leader there.
You seen Dunlap come off the medium line there and almost break loose.
We got a challenge for the lead right here on the bottom.
That's exactly right. They forced Typical to the high side, and that's going to allow the inside to open up for Martin and Dan the Man, who have kindly worked together most of the season. And now they've got Typical trapped up there on the high side where he does not like to run that 3 car. He has been running that low to high exit.
That is true. Martin and Dan seem to be working together a lot. They seem to be nose to tail when they pass you.
Yeah, I've noticed that pointed out in multiple races, that when these 2 get together and coming up behind you, you better watch out. But they do not care to leave one another. I have noticed that as well. And it seems more so that Martin leaves Dan. So, unfortunate for him, I guess.
Could come into play late in this race.
That's exactly right. They got Typical trapped out there on the high side, but he is holding his own strong against the door of the 4.
I've been surprised at how well he's run up top. I assume he'd have gotten loose by now.
Well, that's going to allow Martin to get around, complete the slide job, and he's going to leave the 34 down to dry for now. Oh, it's close. Typical comes back up and closes the gap, gets back to the door of the 4 up on the high side. 34 still pushing hard on the 4 as he's still looking for a complete retention of the lead. Typical not giving up easy up on the high side, in the lead for the moment.
Man,
All
I'd like
alone
to
on the
get
bottom.
like to get a hold of that setup that'll run by itself like that.
Yeah, it's
My
awesome
goodness.
up there on the high side. Little close to the wall on exit that time. Way down to the inside of 34. Dan the man. Can he
He
draw
broke
back
loose there.
even? He's got it. He controlled it.
It looked
Got-
like he broke way loose.
Got two groups of three here racing now. Championship 3 of the 4 racing for first place. 34 back to the inside with the 4 now.
Looked like that second group of 3 had a little bit of contact. G-Dog getting left behind a little bit in that second group of 3.
Exactly right. 4 back down on the bottom by himself. 34 just kind of working with both streams of air. Almost like he doesn't want to pick one.
Keeping it interesting for us in the booth. He's doing it for the fans.
That's right. Welcome everybody to the stream. This is the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami, right here on the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. And joining me tonight in the booth is Anxious Yeti.
Howdy, howdy.
We are on lap 18 of 39 here, or 19 of 39 here in stage number 1. As this is your, we have 3 of your championship 4 racing for first place right here on your screen. 3, 4, and 34, all championship contenders. 16 also a contender, but has had 2 incidences early on in this race, which has found himself back in the back of this field. But plenty of time to recuperate and find his car here in rhythm later on in this race. But these guys
He
up
completed
front,
the pass.
yeah, Typical is certainly back in the lead now after that pass. It has been nothing short of awesome up here up front fighting for this first position. Been door to door for at least 10 laps there amongst these 3 cars. 4 gets a little contact going into 3 and 4, and that's going to allow 34 to drop back to the inside, but just complete his pass into second place.
What is our lap count remaining in stage 1?
We have 19 laps remaining.
Right. What was that, about halfway through?
That's right.
We're gonna have to talk to Typical about choosing the plainest scheme that car has for the championship race.
Right. He could at least gave us like the ice one or something.
Right. Give me something.
He's always running that damn American ethanol or whatever it is.
That's right. Maybe that's why his car's so fast. He's not running regular race fuel like everybody else.
Right. 82% ethanol.
That's right.
Dan the man got the lead now though. Over Typical, but he kind of botches it there on the high side. Still has the lead going down the front stretch.
Did he get a little loose there? Was he fighting the car? I don't know. He might have drove it in too deep and got a little loose on exit.
We're back to a similar or familiar sight. Oh, breaking loose for the 4. Almost lost it to the wall, but he gathers himself.
It's awfully early in the run to be breaking loose like that.
I think that might be Animal there that they're coming up on. He's going to drop low on the track.
Looks that way, yes. Looks like he's
going to allow him to
pitting.
go. I'm not sure if anybody has to pit, as there is 16 laps remaining here in stage number 1. And Dan the man is your leader right now. He was the first driver to punch his ticket to the Ruthless Championship.
Typical struggling a little bit right now. The car may be going away from him.
You know, cars that are long-run cars tend to struggle in the middle of runs, and that could be what we're witnessing here from that 3 car.
It could be all those laps he ran on the high side getting to his tires.
It's a possibility. More grip, wearing out those lefts or right sides a little bit. You see him
I don't know.
he's tucking in on the 4 real nice right now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know. It's looking like it might have been a ploy. Just regather and regroup there.
Yeah, he's going to gain a little bit off of the drop from Dan the Man there. He's going to try to go back high, gain with his buddy Martin. The high side does reign dominant on the front stretch. So you will see the guy on the high side possibly get the win if it comes down to something like that, door to door. So Dan the Man right now is our leader. And 13 laps remaining here in stage number 1, and it goes to the best finisher. Points do not matter tonight. It's about that last lap and where you're at when the checkered flag falls. And it is 4 guys, the Ruthless Championship 4, going for that Ruthless Championship. And this will be the first Ruthless champion in Ruthless Racing Series history. So somebody here tonight looking to make history. Inside is the 3 on Dan the Man. And they are door to door coming through 1 and 2 this time. And Typical is going to gain the lead just for a quick moment. And Slide Job not going to be able to be complete as they're still door to door down the backstretch. Same deal going to be
able to complete it here.
Yep, same deal going to be here in 3 and 4. I don't know. I think the high side's going to reign that dominant. Once he comes out here to exit, he's not going to be clear. He touched him just a tad. Typical not clear down the front stretch. There is Dan the Man still on his door. So Slide Job tried to be complete, but not there.
Bad Martin probably enjoying this because he was starting to lose a little ground.
I think Dan the Man made a little contact there, grabbed his car, slowed him down just a tad. Breaking loose again is the 4.
He's got to be...
Crossover by the 34.
That setup's probably costing him right now. He needs to make another adjustment probably.
Multiple crossovers here in the same turn. 3 and the 34 racing like it's the last lap. There are
4?
10 remaining. He did go down the pit. I don't know if he broke loose. There could be a pit here that's due for the rest of this stage.
He is pitting. So, just like we said, probably needing some adjustments to that thing.
That's exactly right. It is a long race. As long as you are on the lead lap, you will be good.
Hanlon was a little sloppy after a bunch of those bush apples.
I do see some other guys going into the pits, so that's possibly going to be something that everybody does. 9 laps remaining here in stage number 1. Not much time to get that pit in if you're going to have to do it. It's still pretty much nose to tail up here for the lead. Nobody looking to pit right now out of the 1 and 2 positions. Possibly just a splash and go here towards the end of this stage. But not really necessary. Points do not matter. So we'll see what happens here.
See how aggressive they get here. Looked like Dan got a little bit loose on exit there.
If anything, I'm a fan of history, and if history repeats itself like it most often does, you do not want to be somebody who has won the first 2 stages of any race in the Ruthless Racing Series. Because more times than not here in the Ruthless Racing Series, there is not a race sweep. If you win the first 2 stages, your chances to win the race go down. Typical, very large issue getting into the pits. And I don't think he got in there very cleanly. So
Didn't look like it.
Yeah, good thing the issue happens now. Unfortunate it did happen to him. But
not sure if that was a glitch in stream or if that was just a mistake made by the 3.
He looked like he broke loose coming off track there. Possibly not. Here comes Dan the Man, and his certainly looked a little smoother. So we'll see how he comes back out.
So does that cycle Dunlap to the lead?
I believe Typical only took right sides. Somebody wrecked come off pit road.
That would Big Ben?
It's a possibility somebody went up on the track off pit road. I saw on Typical's stream. Dan the Man just now getting into his box. I think he just took a splash, which
Yeah, I
is
think it was
typical.
Big Ben.
Typical with those right sides, could possibly have the advantage on Dan the Man, as he is just now coming out. He is nearly half the track ahead of Typical, who is in third position. Big Ben did have an issue coming off pit road there. We're going to get up here to Dan the Man, who is currently your leader. But he did not take any tires, do not believe. Just believe he took the slash and go strategy just to see what it would happen. And the right sides for Typical, I don't think is going to do much for him in the lead that Dan has with the amount of laps that are left. Dan is at a 9-second lead at the moment with 5 laps remaining. Bad Martin is in second, followed by Typical, Big Ben, and G-Dog, rounding up your top 5. And we keep talking about these championship contenders winning this race. Anybody can win this race. But
That's right.
more times than not, those championship guys brought everything to the table. And we're certainly seeing that out of a few of them.
3 of
Hollywood,
them so far.
yeah, Hollywood just having a terrible luck tonight so far. But as long as he stays on the lead lap, he'll get it figured out, and he'll be up here racing with those fellas come late stage 2 for sure. Speaking of Hollywood, we take a look back here. He's back here with Trav Nation at the moment. We're trying to get back over to Typical, as he is off of the rear of Bad Martin that you see there. He's only about half a second behind him at the moment.
Is the 24 still in the lead?
No, the leader is the 34 of Dan the Man.
Is it? Okay.
He
So
only took a
everyone's
slash and go. Yeah.
Okay. So how many laps are we have left in this stage?
We're getting down to it. I can't see them right off, but about 2, I'd say.
Okay.
Right now, this is the battle for second. If Typical can overtake Bad Martin here in the late half of this. This is the last lap right here. Dan the Man well ahead. He is at an 8-second lead right now, and I think he's going to finish the stage as your winner. As you go back here and look at Bad Martin, he is still in second. Typical looking to go back down to the inside to get him. Dan the Man wins stage number 1 right here in the championship race, so currently a favorite. And then Bad Martin's going to beat Typical to the line and take second. So if you go by the numbers in stage number 1, Dan the Man, Bad Martin, Typical, and Hollywood is the current stat line. Yeah, he's going to take a quick break. We'll have him back. That would be Dan the Man, Bad Martin, Typical, Dunlap, Big Ben, rounding up your top 5 here in the stage number 1 of the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami. And this is stage number 1 stage break brought to you by SKU Car. And first off, I'd like to apologize. I did not get the links on SKU Cars for SKU Cars things tonight in the description because I'm not home with my laptop. So I apologize for that. But if you go to any of my other videos, live videos, check out those descriptions for SKU Car. I appreciate everything he does, and also everything NASCAR that you see there in the stream chat for Ruthless Racing Series highlights. And we have Miss Helms here for Trav Nation. And there he is. This was the end of stage number 1, and we'll get going for stage number 2 right here in just a second. Bad Martin, Dan the Man on the front for stage number 2 as we go to the second stage of deciding who will be a Ruthless champion. 37 laps here in stage number 2, 2 less than stage number 1, where you saw Dan the Man, Bad Martin, and Typical finish 1, 2, 3. And right now you see Bad Martin try to hang on to that lead early on in this stage, as we certainly will see a pit stop here at some point, barring any cautions at the right moment. Thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the Ruthless Racing series, or Ruthless Racing YouTube. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. We were up to 345 as the race started tonight. I had a goal of 200 when the season started, and I'm up to 345. I can't thank you all enough. Can't thank SKUCAR and everybody from over there. Just thank you all so much for helping us out. The goal at the end of tonight's race and the championship race was 350. If we could get 5 more new subscribers tonight, that would be awesome. Share this with anybody, your friends. It's a cool environment. Just come into the chat and talk. Just be respectful of everybody, but we don't care if you joke and go on. It's all good. But right now, Typical has took the lead once again here from Homestead and has put Bad Martin back in second. Dunlap finds himself in third. Dan the Man in fourth. Hollywood back up there in fifth position. I told you once he got it straightened out, he could be back up here racing with these fellas. And there he is at 16 Chevrolet. But you got Dunlap up here in third, not a championship contender. He's the first one to poke his head up into the top 3 that is not a part of the championship 4. So of the championship 4, 4 of them are in the top 5. Big Ben, Trav Nation, and G-Dog all back there in 6th, 7th, and 8th. I'm not quite sure. Possibly Animal back there in the back. Top 5 is quite grouped together. Typical leading them. Outside line led mostly by Bad Martin. Dunlap going to lead the inside line a little bit with Dan the Man on his tail. Typical trying to play both lines. Don't really know where he wants to go. Goes high, low, high again for his strategy on these turns. So Typical been running that high, low, high most of the night. Ran very well when he was forced to the high side. So we'll see. Maybe if someone was able to hold the high side against him and have him run the low side, maybe he doesn't like all the way low side. Interesting to see how somebody may race Typical later on in this race when it's coming down to deciding who gets the hardware or whatever. Not quite sure if we do have any kind of prize for the champion this year, but I'll post that if anything is decided on. Dunlap is now up here racing for that lead. He is on the inside on a mission, trying to draw up to the quarter panel of the 3. Can't do it. Slides into the second position. Dan the Man going to go to inside, trying to make something work down there. Hollywood hot on his tail. Bad Martin right there as well. Gets kind of forced up with the air. And Typical still running that high, low, high line. So top 5 not really breaking apart from each other much. Dunlap has came right up here to second place, and he has stayed there for now, even contending a little bit with the number 1 position. And I do think he has it in him as long as he stays consistent. And they were only 37 laps here in this stage. We'll get you a lap count as they go by this time. And this time by, there is 29 laps remaining. There will be a green flag pit stop, barring a caution at the right time. So we'll see how that works out. Thanks to everybody who's out there tonight watching us from wherever you may be. Hope you had a great holidays. But thanks for choosing to spend your a little bit of your Thursday evening right here at the Ruthless Racing YouTube channel. This is the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami. Typical is leading. Dunlap not in the championship for it, out there in second. Oh, Dunlap breaks loose to the inside. And he certainly hit the wall. He's certainly wrecked. He is certainly up in the... Oh, multiple cars involved. That will certainly bring out a caution. On-board wreck right there for you all. So Dunlap kind of starting that one. Trav Nation involved. Game-initiated caution there. Big wreck as we was just trying to spit out some facts about the race and stuff. Damn, what a wreck.
Horrendous crash.
I swear, what a wreck.
A horrendous crash.
All right.
I'm back.
Hell yeah. That's not a wreck. Now that's a wreck.
I'll show you a wreck. You call that a wreck?
Now that's a wreck. Shoo!
Sheesh. Ooh, Hollywood on the outside.
Yep, different set from the beginning of the stage. It's typical in Hollywood on the front side as they get going this time. I believe I heard somebody miss a shift. Somebody certainly redlined one, I heard.
I'm going to go with G-Dog, seeing as that bottom line didn't get going.
Yeah. All right, so typical quickly up to the high side, working with Hollywood. Dan the Man back down to the low side where he likes to draw even with typical and run door to door. We'll see if he's able to get up there with a little push from his buddy in the 4. Oh, Dan the Man tries to sneak it up high against Hollywood, not able to do it. Gets everybody swirly, but they line it out coming down into turn number 1. So typical out here to the lead now, all by himself.
Might have been a little bit of contact between the second and third place car when they did that.
So we're going to go off the front of typical here so we can kind of see everybody behind them. See how that's working out. Oh, a little bit of breaking loose back through there. Dunlap having all kinds of issues breaking loose off these corners. And that was something I did predict in the pre-race, is someone breaking loose tonight. That's what's going to cause a problem, especially off turn number 2.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thing just wants to turn around on you. Coming off of 2.
A lot of people aren't used to this traditional oval style racing. Although they do call the more modern tracks ovals, they're not necessarily oval. They kind of just have a oval sides and bottom. Now this is a true oval track. Straight, 2 straights, and 2 tight turns.
That's right. I think we got 3 wide going on back there, maybe.
We do later, or in the further back there in the pack for about 5th position. Hollywood's running
sorted
second.
it out. Hollywood switch back down to the low side. See if you can get a little momentum down there.
So good racing up here in the front part of the pack. Everybody lining back out. Possibly going to try to save a little bit. Don't know if if the caution came out at the right time, if the pit was at a good time for these guys, and I don't know if it's going to draw them to the end of the stage with 19 laps remaining. So they've probably been out here they'll be out here for about 22, 23 laps. I don't know if the cars have that in it. I'm not really familiar with what it takes out there tonight.
You said how many laps are left?
Or how many laps for a run on fuel.
Oh, right. Well, they pit about, what was it, about 21 laps in before, in the first stage, so you're looking around 20 laps or so. Somewhere between 20 and 25 laps would be probably your fuel window.
Interesting. This run would be about 23 laps, I think. 22 to 23 laps.
So they may be good
So it's possibly that this will stay green.
if
And,
if they took fuel on the first pit stop. That is.
Right. So this field is kind of split up now between 4 and 4, 2 single file lines. And
Got
Bad
that
Martin.
championship 4.
Yeah, Bad Martin in the back of that championship 4 right now.
Hollywood looking for the lead.
To the inside with momentum and help is Hollywood in the 16. Goes back up behind Typical down the front stretch. So did Dan the Man. Go on board with Hollywood here for a moment. Oh, Bad Martin breaks loose Alpha 2, as we just mentioned before. Very dangerous place.
We've seen that happen a couple times out of him tonight, but he's been able to gather it back up pretty much every time.
That he has, and he did warn us.
Yes, he did.
He said that this is a little free. Nobody able to defeat Typical here for the lead so far. But Hollywood and Dan the Man been working on it. And there goes Hollywood. He's going to send it in this time. Slide Job is on it. Oh, and he got put into the wall. Dunlap going to T-bone Hollywood, flip him up over on his top. And the championship race has seen a flip. And what a wreck that we have seen there. Hope you all got to see that. I believe Typical went to go cross over Hollywood on the slide job. And he just over, I don't know, just... What would I say here? He over... Shit, I don't know. He just fucked up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. It didn't look like It looked like they were nose to tail, and then all of a sudden he cut right. I'm not really sure what happened.
Jeez, what a wreck.
That was a good one. 16 is having some bad luck.
Man, Hollywood sent it down into that turn, and I think Typical went to just go cross him over, but I didn't think Hollywood would hold it low and bumped him up too hard.
Maybe so.
It's going to be Dan the Man in the lead, though, on this restart. Certainly no pit stop now.
It was violent.
11 laps to go in stage number 2, and it's already been a dicey one. That was great.
That was wild, man.
34, Dan the Man, the leader now.
Things are getting a little wild right here.
That's right. Typical to the inside. Oh, Dan the Man did touch the wall up there. Or Bad Martin up into the wall. Bad Martin with Dunlap there.
Ooh.
So that puts Bad Martin in a bad spot.
Yeah, it does.
No pun intended. Bad spot, Martin. Making
Hollywood
moves back around.
Right back up to third.
Yeah, Hollywood.
Behind the 3. See if he does anything here. If he catches him. See what's on Hollywood's mind. Is that the 24 spinning back there?
Oh, I believe it was. I believe I missed it. Possibly.
Single car. So probably
just
not
a single
caution.
car incident. So right now...
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say right now, Dan the Man looking to lose the lead from Typical as he dives it down to the inside. Door to door. A little bit of contact down the front stretch. Typical will let out a little bit, let him around. Almost another incident here.
I don't want to wreck the entire Final Four.
Yeah, there's 8 laps remaining here in stage number 2. And as we were stating earlier, if Dan the Man wins this stage, he would have won stage number 1 and 2. And more times often than not, that does not favor well for that person in stage number 3. A little bit of contact. A little bit of contact back there between the 2 and the 4. 16 and the 4 looking to make inroads through this field, but the 2 has got other plans. So he's going to stay real high this time. Door to door for the 34 and the 3. As we got about 7 laps remaining here in stage number 2. Oh, 17 broke loose back there, I saw. Drag racing up here between these two, though.
Yeah, it looks like we got some cars just not handling the way they should.
Oh, slide job complete by the 3. 34 bumps him, tries to go low. Not going to have the momentum. Is going to be stuck on the rear side. 6 laps remaining here in stage number 2. It is the Ruthless Racing Series Championship.
They keep battling like this, the 4 is going to sneak through and win the stage.
That's right. Oh, broke loose by the 16. Don't know if he saved it. He certainly didn't. I hear him braking.
Oh,
Hollywood
man.
around again.
Disaster.
Absolute disastrous day.
Anything that has gone wrong for the 16 tonight.
That's right. 3's going to lose the lead again to the 34. 4 is down on the inside of the 3 now. That could spell devastation for a stage win for the 3 right here. Once again, points do not matter. Hollywall. That's funny.
Tonight it has been.
So typical back in 3rd position, but looking to work on the inside of the 4 here.
Big Ben sneaking into the picture here, trying to sneak in.
So typical making some moves, passes the 4 right there. Gets up on the high side, following the 34, who's breaking draft, I guess. Maybe broke a little loose.
Three looks like it got tight there.
We have 3 laps remaining here in stage number 2 as Bad Martin goes back and claims second once again. Dan the Man, still your leader. He was the stage number 1 winner. Oh, typical looking to lose another spot. Go back to 4th here. As Big Ben goes down to the inside working with Martin. You can see G-Dog chilling back there in 5th position.
Typical getting ganged up on in those Fords, man.
Yeah, those Fords are taking advantage of that poor little Chevy. So Typical has now dropped back to 4th position. Bad Martin up to 2nd. Big Ben up to 3rd. And Dan the Man with 2 laps remaining looking to win another stage here in this championship race. Would put him as the heavy favorite, but not in terms of history. Just in terms of he's won that so far.
And Typical did say he wasn't going to worry about stages until the very end.
That's exactly what he said, and that's exactly where it matters at, that last lap.
And for that matter, Hollywood has to have the same mentality at this point. I mean,
yeah.
All it takes is, a couple restarts. There's only 9 cars, so it's not that difficult to find yourself back in the lead.
That's exactly right, and this is the last lap of stage number 1. I believe that's going to allow Dan the Man to be the winner once again. So first 2 stages go to Dan the Man, and the first 2 stages both go Dan the Man, Bad Martin, and Typical. And then Hollywood somewhere way back yonder. But so what this is telling us now is at 37 to 40 laps, Dan and Martin are looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think Typical's going to make a few adjustments probably on this pit stop. Couldn't have been happy with the way his car ended that stage.
I'd say you're exactly right, as I'm going to take a quick whistle wet break. Brought to you by Skew Car.
Skew Car. Alright, getting ready to go back green here. with Dan the Man and Bad Martin.
That's exactly right. Dan the Man and Bad Martin starting out on the front. And this is the last stage of the Ruthless Racing Series Championship. Who will be the Ruthless champion? It all gets decided right here at the end of this 134 laps. 83 of 134 completed so far. Let's see who can take home the hardware and be the first Ruthless champion. Dan the Man has won both of the first two stages, followed by Bad Martin being in second. Typical can't seem to find the late run speed. Will he find it here in stage number 3? Hollywood having a terrible, terrible night, but can turn it all around here where it makes a difference. The last lap is the only one that counts to find your glory. So let's see where it all concludes right here at Homestead-Miami between the turquoise walls.
The turquoise. Big Ben wisely lets the 3 go.
That is right. He's let the 3 back up there in too familiar order. Hollywood chilling right there in 5th position. And if I'm Hollywood, you know, I don't try to be aggressive at all. I just try to race this car and keep it up there with them, and then maybe try to feel out any issues that it has for my pit stop here.
Yeah, I mean that's one way to put it, but it doesn't look like he's taking your advice. He's passing this 2. He's not wasting any time, getting right to the bumper of the 3.
Well, I'm glad y'all enjoyed my little championship speech. This is where it all comes to an end. One of these 4 guys who are in the top 4 right now will be a Ruthless champion.
We got 3 wide at least almost? No. Yes? No? Maybe?
It's looking that way. It's trying to get that way. It won't get that way, it seems. This championship race has had everything. Door-to-door racing, action-packed, wrecks, flips, anything that you can imagine. I even dropped an F-bomb. It's been awesome.
The Scoo car talking about Dan Campbell.
Yeah. He's got
I can do a Dan Campbell impression.
Do it.
I'm trying to think of what I should say.
Tell one of these 4 guys to win the championship.
Yeah, that's true. I could do that. Right, Hollywood man. See, all you gotta do, you gotta pass these guys. You gotta get on his right rear quarter panel. You gotta spin him, 'cause that's where his kneecaps are. You just gotta do it, man. I'm so proud of you, man. That's all I think about is you guys.
That is great. About the kneecaps off. I like it.
It's better when I don't have a 1-year-old sleeping in the other room.
Yet he does the greatest Dan Campbell. I know Dan Campbell personally. He does the greatest. It's just absolutely the best. And this is the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami. You know, I have a golf course nearby. It's absolutely pristine. So you need to check it out tonight. Typical Dan the Man, Bad Martin, you know, Hollywood. They're all great young fellows. I like them all. You know, so make sure you check out Ruthless Racing. Best around, best around. I know the best, and they're the best around.
And that was really something.
Everything. A killer.
His was insane. That's garbage.
I don't have a good one, but you know who it is.
Yeah. I know somebody that can do a really good one.
For real. Oh, I'm gonna come.
Oh, I'm gonna come.
That's too good. And it has been fucking bottleneck racing up here, boys, and we're just goofing around door to door back with Typical trying to take the lead.
Look at you dropping F-bombs again.
I'm telling you, it's just a good night. I am sick. I am on some cough syrup and stuff, so I'm not in my complete right phase here.
What kind of cough syrup are you using there, bud?
Door to door. Promethazine, drinking lean.
Look at you. Now you're cutting short the highlight film.
Tone it down there, buddy.
You don't want to get him demonetized. You're messing with the man's life.
Look, it's a half a second worth of word, okay? Out of sight, out of mind. And the top four is really bumping bumpers up here. Typical has found himself back to the lead. Bad Martin was trying to work the low side by himself, but it's going to be Dan the Man sneaking down there, and he's going to work with them. Hollywood finds himself high up on the high side, trying to shut Big Ben out.
Yeah, they're doing a little bumping and grinding back here.
Hey, it's not drugs, it's prescribed medication. The doctor gave it to me. How many laps to go? Sir, there is 40 laps to go here in this Ruthless Championship. I do not have the flu.
Necessary remedies is what we call
allegedly.
it, not medications.
Allegedly, I don't have the flu. That's what the swab said. Oh, somebody is wrecked up here. That's animal into the wall. Yes, medication for my illness.
Sometimes you gotta get medication off the street and everything. Come on, man.
I wouldn't know anything about that. But
people gotta make a living. What is going on?
Looks like Typical's stretching it out a little bit here. There will be a pit.
They're fanned out.
They did a little bit. Top five still kind of together here.
Amazed he's able to run by himself so well.
Eighth place, road to 20 subs. Welcome.
Everything over here is throwing shade. He always throws shade on me in the chat. But I never have a chance to say anything because no one's going to hear me. Because I'm just in the chat. Well, not today, pal.
Here he is. Surprise, mother... He's here. I bleeped myself out there. I caught that one. What?
You mother...
Typical is running that low-high line once again. Dan the Man in second. Bad Martin third. Hollywood fourth.
This guy. You know what? I may be a dump truck every week, but you're right. You're not a dump truck every week because you're not even in the field.
Hey yo.
Sideline guy. Chill out.
Top four is your championship for Hollywood off the wall a little bit, off of four. Going to take Big Ben down to the low side with him. Going to collect it enough to get back up into fourth, fifth position, door to door with the two here. There you go, everything. What a good fellow. What a good man. What a good man.
Yeah, see, that's not even true.
So we'll get back up here to this first place battle. It was Typical. Who is your first place car? Jetty, I'm gonna have you take over. I am on typical.
Do what?
If you don't care, take over for just a second. I got the camera on typical there, watching that battle.
Sure. Yeah, it looks like Dan the Man catching up to typical a little bit right now, but those front two are pulling away. Looks like maybe that time of the run where typical's car maybe not to his liking. And we got, yeah, there goes Dan the Man making the slide job work easy. Way too easy, in fact. Oh, no. Oh, he didn't hold it. He got a little tight there. We got the three fighting back on the inside. Not able to keep it out in front. Typical regains the lead. Not to be denied, Dan the Man right back to the bumper. Will he take a dive? No, he shuts it off. Typical shuts the door.
Poetry by Anxious Yeti.
Oh,
Thank you for that. So who is going to pull the short pit? Good question. Who is going to do it? As we are getting down into the gas run laps here. Typical looking strong out front. A pit stop with 30 to go. There's 30 to go right now. A pit stop, I'm imagining somewhere within the next 7 laps. Not sure what was going on there with the cars. Looked like a couple broke loose or something. Oh, way down low for both of these guys. Is that a draft break? What the hell is going on?
That looked like 3 car broke loose and 34 followed him.
So I'm not sure when these pit stops are going to happen, but they are going to happen, barring any cautions. Black flag. Anybody going to hit the barrels on pit road? I mean, there's a lot of things that could happen here and make this championship interesting. Hollywood just chilling out there in 4th position. Does he have it?
That's so strange. Dan pulled right up to the bumper. Now it's these 3 seem like they can't catch him.
It is hard to work together at a track like this. It is going to allow Typical to stretch it out a little. There
looks like Hollywood looking inside the 4 here.
A lot of good action out of these 4 drivers here tonight, especially out of Hollywood spinning around and everything.
Guy's been back and forth, back and forth.
It most certainly has, and we're just waiting pit stops here in the last stage of the Ruthless Racing Series Championship from Homestead-Miami, where Typical is in the lead. Dan the Man is your favorite, though, having won both the first 2 stages. But if we know anything about Ruthless Racing Series history, is that if you win 2 stages, you usually do not win the race.
Hollywood pulling the short pit, perhaps.
Hollywood is a short pitter.
Travis coming in with him.
Now you wait.
Way down low.
He could be signaling his pit.
Looks like he is.
Typical may stretch it another lap. Not sure. Nope, he's going to try to bring it in here. Dan the man, though. Oh, thinks about it at the last second. Gets it in there. Don't know what he done. Don't know how he
I don't know
done that.
how he did that.
Me either.
How many laps to go, someone is asking.
There's about 27 to go. 26, 27 to go. That's a rough estimate there, but that's about accurate.
So with all three of these guys pitting now and Hollywood being on a different schedule, it should be interesting to see, because Hollywood should come out in front of them now.
We are watching this battle off pit road. Dan the man. It's going to be typical Bad Martin Dan the man come out. Hollywood is already out there, and you'll see him right here off the rear view of typical right now. Hollywood is going to have some speed, but he's not going to be right there, I don't think. He's going to come around Dan the man right here. We're going to get on board with Hollywood. He's got momentum, certainly. He's not going to have as fresh of tires as these guys, but he has certainly gave himself a heck of a fighting chance. Awesome pit stops there by our Championship 4. Got them all together up here up front, racing for the final 23 laps remaining. 23 laps to decide who will be the Ruthless champion. That did give Hollywood a little bit of time gain there. Hopefully the tires will hold up here for the later part of this race. Still a lot of laps remaining nonetheless. But interesting, with just 22 at the line to go. This is your Championship 4, all door to door right now up here for it all at Homestead-Miami.
That's right, Stu. We couldn't ask for a better setup for the finish of this race. Got our Championship 4, as they have been most of the season, running up front. Oh, 4-car into the wall. Was able to regain it. See what they can do here. I'd like to see these guys kind of work together and catch up to the 3 and see if they can't get up to the lead, but looks like the 4 has other plans.
Yeah, sorry, I had to step away there. Typical has jumped out to a little bit of a lead. It's got these other guys fighting each other.
A little bit of contact back there between the 16 and the 34.
So Hollywood finds himself back and forth after gunning it up to him off the short pit. Typical kind of stretching out to a little bit of a comfortable lead here. Can 4 and 34 work together and get back up to the bumper of that American Ethanol 3 car?
Yeah, you definitely don't want him to be comfortable for too long, because if he gets comfortable for too long, you're not going to see him anymore. He's just going to take off.
That's right.
It would behoove these 3 to line up and see if they can't do a little bit of drafting, which it looks like they're trying to do here.
That's right. Got a lot of high line racing off the exits there. Nobody breaking loose just yet. Good commentator's curse moment, though, as they come into turn number 2.
Yeah, you might be right.
Looking a little loose there off the end, but everybody survives. So no curse this time around. Hollywood dropped back off the bumper of the 34 to go inside a little deeper, but I don't think it's going to benefit him much, as he's going to find himself right back to where he was, breaking loose now with the 34 as they dance side to side, but get it straightened out. 34 are down to the inside on the 4. Not sure if that's what the field needs to see with Typical out there in a lead like that. These guys fighting each other. Typical stretching this thing out.
There he is. He's getting comfortable.
He's getting to run his line with consistency now, while these guys kind of battle it out a little bit. The only spot that matters is the one that Typical is in. But not only is the championship on the line for Typical here, he will have come back and won the points battle against Hollywood.
That's right. He's looking to sweep everything.
Yeah, he may not have won the regular season, but he will win the overall season championship and points standings with a win tonight. So
I thought the 3 got into the wall there. But he did not. He got awfully close.
oh god. So I'm going to try to stay on with Typical here. So we'll get you a lap count as he gets around this time by. As this is the closest I've ever seen the two streams linked. It's only about 3 seconds off. 14 laps remaining.
It's very close.
Yeah.
Hollywood inside the 4. Make the pass. Hollywood inside the 34, perhaps.
Hollywood looking to make moves here. Late run car possibly here for the 16. Little bump in action there as we look off the nose of the 4 car here. Outside line is dominant, as we mentioned earlier, on the grip. Hollywood trying to work that inside. Hollywood down there on that transition change in that corner. Hollywood's going to try to sneak it up there. Oh, gets clipped by the 34. He's trying to gain control as they go down into 3 and 4. 16's got it. What a badass angle that was.
Been some wild racing, but the 3's walking away.
Yeah, the 3's looking to punch himself as the first Ruthless champion here. As he is just about 1.8 seconds ahead of the second place driver in Dan the Man. If these 3 get linked up and work together, there is still time for them to catch Typical. They have to stop battling each other, though, because there is 11 laps remaining. There's 11 laps remaining. Anybody in here watching, share to anybody you might know that might be interested.
Ooh, the 4 car cutting loose.
4 car does go very low down the track. We are on board with the second place of Dan the Man as they try to catch the 3 of Typical, who is out to a 1.7 second lead over these 3 other championship contenders.
You know, everything I would go for another restart.
You know, it's like Charlotte last race out. Absolutely unreal that a 4-stage race came down to NASCAR overtime. But that's what happened. Typical now almost a 2-second lead. So they are not gaining on the 3 car, not at all, as he has found that late run speed. And we mentioned it earlier. Winning the first 2 stages is just not good for you in the Ruthless Racing Series. That does not happen often. I think it may have happened 1 time this season.
I think there was some contact back there between the 4 and the 16, it looked like.
Yeah, they're definitely racing hard back here behind Typical. Whenever Typical spot is the one that matters. Typical up to a 2.1 second lead now. And he is just looking all but at the home call here from Homestead.
4 car got by the 16.
And that will drop Hollywood back to 4th.
Maybe we cursed Hollywood by picking him.
And that's possible. And we're going to stay on board with typical here as there is 6 laps remaining. And we will watch these final 6 laps right from the view of the 3 as he is in the lead. And barring any complications or a caution, he will possibly be the first Ruthless Racing Series champion. And now is all there is to do is to sit back and watch, as there is a battle going on behind him for second place, but they've battled each other too much, I'm afraid, as 2.5 seconds is the spread between the 3 and the 34.
Yeah, there was a point in the race earlier where we were concerned about the long run speed of the 3. Don't think we need to be anymore.
See typical running that line there. Make sure everybody sticks around for after the race interviews. We will have an interview with the champion and on the great awesome season that he had, and also the other championship contenders. We'll have them come in and speak on the season and so forth, and whether they plan to continue their Ruthless racing careers. Typical as battle still ensues behind him. He is taking it for 2 to go here in the championship race from Homestead-Miami. Typical won the most races in Ruthless Racing Season 1, taking the Clash and the All-Star races as well. Dominating new track like New Hampshire Roval. Did not win the regular season championship, but did come back and win the regular season points. And there we go. That will be your Ruthless winner and champion, Typical in the 3 car, as he will come back around to get his victory burnout. He is the race winner and your Ruthless Racing Series champion, Typical 30. And you can check him out on YouTube under the same name to check out Ruthless Radio and first person view from the 3 car. But big congratulations there to MFF Typical 30 for becoming the first Ruthless Racing Series champion. And in dominant fashion, honestly, in the amount of races that he won, no more deserving person than Typical if you look at the numbers. And so congratulations to him. Also, big congratulations to Dan the Man, Bad Martin, and Hollywood. Great championship race tonight. They were neck and neck for almost the whole race. I mean, it was an awesome race through and through. I'm glad it worked out the way it did. And then for everybody else that has raced in the Ruthless Racing Series this season, Big Ben, Dunlap, Trav Nation, Yeti, Sticky Rent House, G-Dog, Animal, Shepherd. I mean, there's so many guys. I'm missing some, and I know I'm sorry. But thanks to you all that have all been a part of this. And then, well, last but not least, you all, the spectating fans, people in the chat. Thank you all so much. Without you all, this literally is nothing. It doesn't mean anything. It's So it's great to have you all come in here and chat with us and be interested in what's going on here. And it's much appreciated. Same thing with everything NASCAR and all the highlights, and then SKU Car and all the promotion. It's all appreciated. Please stick around as we will have interviews coming up with the championship racers. And also, I'm going to say congratulations to Big Ben to not getting the fastest lap. That was a
I saw
surprise.
that. Yeah,
That was a surprise to me.
not by much, but it was the fastest.
It was the fastest. Awesome. Hollywood's in here. If you don't care, tell the other three to join if they
They're
want to.
coming.
Okay, cool.
They're coming.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start. We'll start with Hollywood first on the end of the finish. We'll talk to you after typical again, but for right now, overall, mostly a disappointing effort tonight for you and the 16 machine. It was just unfortunate. Got our first Ruthless flip though. That was cool. But other than that, it was rough to watch. But on the pit stop there at the end, it looked like you had what it took, and you just I don't know. I guess the tire wear may have gotten to you. So just kind of walk us through what went wrong, and then maybe what went right.
Yeah, I mean, I had a good car the whole race. The track, you get loose and it would just kind of snap on you, and then that's what kind of happened to me those couple times. But I mean, when I was able to keep control of it, it was pretty good. My car wasn't really loose, wasn't really tight. It was pretty good. It would just come around on me randomly. But no, I mean, I put it together right there in stage 3. The 4 of us had a hell of a good race. Kind of just lost the draft of typical, and yeah, I was a little bit behind him, so I wanted to pit before him. Had a good pit stop, fast, good entry, good exit, fast on pit road. Crew took care of me, and then caught back up to him right there. But yeah, we just couldn't. We were kind of racing each other too hard to be able to keep up with him. But yeah, man, congrats to Typical and the other 3 or other 2. It was a hell of a race to be in. Stage 1 and stage 2 didn't go my way, but it was definitely fun. Still had a lot of fun, and looking forward to running it back next year.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad everything worked out to be. It was a good race. It was good to see y'all were pretty much neck to neck most of the race. In terms of the season, how do you feel like that went?
Yeah, I mean, it was a good first season. Yeah, I mean, I'm up there in the points. I know we didn't have a lot of people, and consistency was key just to earning points and stuff. But I mean, I still had a lot of fun. Even, I don't have to win every single week. I'm cool, just having a good race, having fun. Uh, so I'm not disappointed in anything. Typical was the best car. He all season won the most races. He deserved it. So, you know, congrats to him, and looking forward to next year.
Awesome. And next, we're going to appreciate it. 1 second. I'm sorry.
I think Martin was in 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to just talk about your race?
All right,
I
cool.
screwed up the order because I crashed in on the last lap and cost Typical his burnout.
Oh no.
Which he deserved to not earn a burnout because he lied to me in qualifying instead of thinking I got the pole, and then he come in like 2/10 lower than I was. But yeah, overall, race good. I hope you had a lot to see tonight because we were right there all together.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to watch.
Yeah, it was a good one to watch. You finished second in both of the first stages right there behind Dan the Man. At that point in the race, like after those 2 stages, did you feel like you were sitting in a good spot?
Stage 2, I was tight. Hollywood ended up running me down there at one point, so I was trying to make some adjustments. I loosened it up too much where it was burning the tire coming off, so I had to really watch the grip level, so I couldn't push it too hard. But overall, third place finish. I'm happy with that for the night. And congrats to Typical. He was car of the field tonight, as he is most of the season. So congrats to Dan for the 2 stage wins tonight.
Yeah, most certainly. And you kind of joined a little later here in the Ruthless Racing Series season, but nonetheless found yourself locked into the playoffs, got into the Championship 4. So as far as Ruthless Racing Series goes, what'd you think about the first season, and is it something that you will continue doing?
I'm up in the air about continued season. Nothing against the league. I think it's a great league, and if anybody's out there listening that wants to get with a good group of guys that don't have a big head and want to race and have fun and love close door racing and not door banging, this is the place to be. I mean, it is a great league. You guys started something great here. I hope it continues.
We certainly appreciate those comments. Yeah, that's coming from somebody who started late and proved himself here in the Ruthless Racing Series. And Bad Martin there is great having you here. Certainly a great racer, and any league that I have, you're welcome to race in.
Well, thank you.
No problem.
Just so you guys know, he's been drinking all day, so don't believe a word he says.
That's why my car got laced on the first couple laps, because I was drinking Red's Apple.
Hey, that is some good stuff. I used to drink those.
I get to try it.
All right, so got Dan the Man. He he won both stages tonight. But in the Ruthless Racing Series, that is the bad side of history. Winning the first 2 stages usually means you lose the race, and history repeated itself tonight, unfortunately for you there. But you had a very strong and awesome car, amazing door-to-door racing with Typical most of the evening. I mean, just phenomenal. Just let us know just how come it didn't happen.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Like the first lap, like the first stage, I had a good long run car and I didn't take tires. And I got that one. Like the second stage, my car was fast as hell, and then the third stage, it was tight. I don't know what happened. But kind of a bummer. I tried as hard as I could,
Well, you certainly look like you were
He's a hard guy to beat. Typical, super fast. He's one of the best guys, that are on this game. Mm-hmm. And he's hard to beat. But I'm getting better slowly.
That's exactly right. I mean, that's all that matters is improvement, time by time. Yeah. I mean, you were.
I wanted to win bad though.
Oh, I'm sure. You were the first driver to punch your ticket into the championship 4, and those first 2 stages, you proved that you certainly did belong there. And it just didn't. The outcome probably wasn't exactly what you would want, but certainly a lot to build on.
He was really hit and turn, you know what I mean? I think it was turn 1 and 2, that third stage, perfect. That was tight, and he was gone.
I mean, it was certainly great racing from all of you all, and then the championship 4 at the end, just racing door to door.
I would imagine. I tried to put on a show there. It was fun.
I mean, it was great, and same question to you, though, in terms of you came in late and proved yourself, got into the playoffs, ultimately to the championship 4. Overall, how was your experience with Ruthless Racing, and is it something that you will continue?
Well, I've had fun over here. I mean, I like the guys are easy, like to get along with, and I will be here next season.
Awesome, that's great to hear. Great to hear. Well, nonetheless, it was great having you with us here, and same to you. You can race with me or any of our leagues anytime.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And last but certainly not least is Typical 30, your Ruthless champion. And he goes out there to Homestead and didn't look like the favorite early on, although he did start on the pole, but he gets it done late on in the race, finishes with almost a 3-second lead, and gains the Ruthless crown. So typical dominating season leads to a not so dominant championship performance, but leads or ends with you hosting that hardware. So let us know how'd you get it done later on in the race.
Well, in the beginning, like it's really hard to get people out of your draft, especially with three lines or three cars lined up. And when they hit the wall, they all bunched up, and I was able to get like 8 or 9 tenths on them, and then just build onto that while they race each other.
Bastard.
Yeah, they were fighting real hard with each other later on in the stage, which did allow you to climb up to a lead. Uh, in the first two stages, did your car lack something, or were you just kind of just not forcing any issues?
No, I wasn't really trying to force anything. I mean, the third stage was the only one that counted, so I kind of just not rode but raced more than I would in the third stage, and the side by side was really fun. So I didn't really want to leave that either.
Yeah. Certainly a lot of great racing door to door. You held your own on the high side a lot of times out there. It was just overall just a good championship race. I don't think we could ask for anything better. And especially when Dunlap even got up there and stuck his nose a part of that top five. Big Ben one time was up there with you all racing, so it wasn't like it was just all you all, but it was almost like it was written that way, the way y'all were racing at some points in this race. But
Yeah, I was
nonetheless,
hoping he was going to crash or something, but he never did. Bastard.
Dude, when I tell you I was focused, I was really
Oh,
focused.
I know you were. I could see you hitting turn one, you know what I mean? And you're
My
like,
my,
damn,
my
you're
car
up.
timed up in a good way where I can run the bottom like that consistently.
You have to give props to the two car and Big Ben and Dunlap. They were up there, but they really didn't push the issue much because they knew we were really fighting hard. The two car stepped back there and was watching the show. He had the best view of us all. So, but I think he could have been in there in the mix, but he was not trying to interrupt what was going on.
well, nonetheless, it was awesome championship race. Congratulations to you, Typical. You are the first Ruthless champion.
It's an
But
honor, man. I'm glad to myself that I could be the one to do it.
hey, you won the most races and conquered a couple of first time tracks and stuff like that. So it was only fitting that, that you got it. On paper, you should have got it. So here you are. And I'll ask you the same question first, as somebody who also is racing a lot of leagues and races in current leagues. What's your experience with Ruthless Racing first time around?
There's like a really lot of good guys in here that are respectful on the track and will race you cleanly, and that's what I really enjoy. So couldn't ask for a better group of cleaner drivers, really.
You're welcome.
And Dan.
He was out front the whole time. He doesn't know.
Oh, no, we were going at it.
He really wanted to say, I'd like to thank them guys that move out of my way when I come blow their doors off.
Dan is not the man. Damn it. I got to change my name.
You gonna change my name to your name?
It's not working out. Yeah, you can have it because it's not working for me.
All right,
Oh,
awesome. That was an awesome championship race, fellas. No lie. Truly
Oh, it had to
enjoyed it. Even better, the awesome season one. YouTube exceeded anything beyond my expectations. I'm not even sure how many we've gained now. We were like at 345. We're up to 347 subscribers in one season.
Wow.
I started this YouTube channel back on July 7th, and so we're up to 347 subscribers, 19,500 views, far more than what I expected. So thanks to everybody who's watched and all
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, it's been an honor to bring all this action to y'all. Even though it is just what it is, it's still fun to do, and I'm glad that people enjoy it and actually come in here and have a good time with it. And but I'm going to hand over to Hollywood for right now, as he may want to discuss any future plans for the league and season 2 and so forth.
Yeah. First off, I want to thank you, Sue, for doing the broadcast every week. You're the voice of the league. You put out the content, and you made the YouTube happen. So I appreciate you putting it on every week for us and making it happen. Yeti, I know you joined for this race. That was cool. We need to get Stu some. I want you to race, but we got to get somebody else in the booth too to help out Stu. I think that would be the next step for us to take us to the next level. And then secondly, we had a lot of drivers in and out, so anybody that's out there that raced in our league, the 24 guys that raced this season, even if it was for only a race or two, there was pretty much no problems with anybody, and it was a really clean season. No drama between any of the guys or anything. So, we're gonna keep that going into season 2. If anybody's looking to join, you can text us on YouTube, and we'll get in touch with you guys. We're gonna try and get 16 drivers for Thursdays, and if we can, we're gonna get a Tuesday series going. So stay posted for that. We're probably gonna take a few weeks off here for recruiting. We're gonna try and start season 2 with a full 16 drivers in the Thursday league at least. So it's going to take a few weeks, but we're going to be back racing hopefully by February, and we'll be posting content between here and then. It won't just be dead. Our YouTube's not going to just go away. So thanks to the fans and everybody that watches.
I think you got some highlight reels coming out, don't you?
And yeah, I'm going to try and put a highlight clip together. Everything NASCAR does it for us. I want to thank him too, actually, because he's been putting out highlights on his own without anybody asking him this whole season, and that's really cool that we have a fan out there that would take the time to do that.
Oh, that's cool.
Shout out to everything NASCAR. Follow his page, subscribe to his channel.
Yeah, just a quick thing. If he posts a highlight, I usually post them on our community tab. So if you go scrolling through there, they're probably there.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, and then congrats to Typical. He got the championship and the car owner championship too. Swept it. Hell of a season by him. I had a points lead on him. He missed a race and he got it back on me. So if that doesn't define his season, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. Great season, boys, and we're gonna run it back. I'm coming for season 2.
Doesn't the champion got to start one lap down on the third stage every race? Sounds fair to me.
I don't know.
We can change the rules.
Yep, season
Nah,
rule changes.
In all seriousness, hell of a season. We're gonna have a few changes, racing wise, based off of what the drivers wanted, but the streams and the content and the time that we race at is not going to change too.
All right, cool.
No, I just want.
If I get invited back next season, hopefully we can try to get a back-to-back championship.
Come on.
Everybody's invited back.
Sorry, Tim.
Oh, it looks like you're coming back, Martin, huh? Newsflash here. Oh, boy, that didn't take long. You just got
it's good
suckered
having
in.
everybody, though. Anybody that does come back, appreciate it. Anybody who doesn't, good luck. And whatever you do or wherever you go.
I just want to know if I'm the fan favorite. I hope so.
No, I am.
I think Travis has us all beat. He's got a good following. Yeah.
Travis is a manager, and then he has like all of his employees watch. So I think he has like this force thing going on.
It's not fair. Okay, Travis is out of it then.
Travis is blackmailing employees for raises. If you watch the race, he's testing him.
Your
What
half a
place did I
percent
finish?
raise.
No race. No race today.
Great job, guys. Had fun.
Yeah, it was awesome. I really appreciate everybody. Yeti, got anything you want to say before we close it out?
Yeah, it was interesting because I've never actually been in the booth before, to watch the race, and it was incredible. I mean, you guys were up there and door to door, and I don't quite get as excited as Stu does when he sees stuff, but um, because he's a lot more animated than I am. But it was a lot of fun to watch. I quite enjoyed it. Hollywood had an eventful evening, but
Yeah, that's good. Right.
it was it was definitely fun to watch. I think we may have cursed Hollywood because we both picked him. Um, but
Sure.
Why would you guys do that, man?
I'm sorry. I'm
That's where the
sorry.
downfall went, Hollywood.
It was
They
all
did
That's
part
you.
of
what
the
it was.
plan.
I
Yeah, it wasn't
I
turn 4.
I even said that I wasn't expecting any cautions, and then we had one like 3 laps in. Um, so it
That was
kind of
my
made
bad. I had
kind
a
of made
beer in
me
my
eat my
hand.
words. Kind of made me eat my words from the very get. But yeah, like I said before the race, I mean, the right four were in the championship, and you certainly put on a show worthy of that. So good season, guys, and I think the best car certainly won. But you guys were definitely right up there with them the whole time, and that was it was a good show to watch.
Most definitely. And once again, thanks, Shetty, for joining me here in the booth. It was good to have somebody with me. Uh, Good bouncing back and forth. Liked it. It was awesome.
Thanks.
And yeah, thanks to everybody who's racing the Ruthless Racing Series this year. Thanks to anybody who has watched any a second of our videos, left a like, or even subscribed to us. Thanks to Everything NASCAR and SKU Car for all they do for our league. And here in a few weeks, we'll get right back at it with season 2. We'll let you know for sure on the community tab what we'll be doing with that. And but in the meantime, keep a eye out for uploads and live videos. We'll try to do some things. I might post
Hit
some
that
more.
bell. Hit
Yeah,
that bell and be notified every time we do upload.
that's right. Do it for Yeti. And I might post some Gran Turismo 7 content since we're on a little off season here. And hopefully, once we get back on our season with the regular NASCAR schedule, maybe we'll get a few more views here on our races. But nonetheless, this is B News Stew with Anxious Yeti tonight. This was your Ruthless Racing Series Season 1 championship from Homestead-Miami, where you saw Typical 30 get crowned as the Ruthless champion. Congratulations to all of the Ruthless Championship 4 drivers and all of the Ruthless Racing Series drivers throughout the field this season. And as always, y'all have a wonderful weekend, and we'll catch you next time.